Queen hosted a dinner in honor of Honorable Prime Minister. In terms of outcomes, especially looking at the political salience of some of these outcomes, you would recall that this is Honorable Prime Minister's third visit to Bhutan since 2014. You are aware that Bhutan was the first overseas destination in 2014 and also among early visits by Prime Minister Modi ji in 2019. This is a very clear reflection of the importance and the priority that the Prime Minister attaches to the India-Bhutan relations. Also at the same time, it signifies high-level, leadership-level focus and prioritization of the relationship. This is not just a tradition of regular high-level exchanges between India and Bhutan, but it also allows the leaderships of the two countries to undertake a detailed assessment of the status of relationship across various domains. The present visit of Honorable Prime Minister follows recently the visit last week of His Excellency Dasho Shering Topke, the Prime Minister of Bhutan, to India. As I mentioned briefly in my opening remarks, in terms of audiences and meetings, the audience with His Majesty the King and the meeting with Prime Minister Topke were very productive, allowing essentially the two Prime Ministers and the Indian Prime Minister and His Majesty the King to take an extensive and exhaustive review of the entire gamut of our bilateral relations. Also at the same time underline the important segments that the two countries would focus on going forward. In terms of the order of Druk Gyalpo, as I mentioned, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji accepted the highest civilian award of Bhutan, Order of Druk Gyalpo, earlier this afternoon. You would recall that conferment of the award was announced by His Majesty the King of Bhutan in December 2021 in recognition of Honorable Prime Minister's contributions to strengthening India-Bhutan friendship. As I mentioned, Prime Minister Modi ji is the first foreign dignitary and the fourth person to have been conferred this award in Bhutan. This is clearly a very important and significant milestone in our bilateral relations with Bhutan. Earlier today, we have released the joint vision statement, an overall joint vision document, and also a specific one with regard to elements of India-Bhutan partnership in the hydropower sector. The joint vision statement captures the essence of India-Bhutan cooperation, which is Bharat and Bhutan together for progress and development. It not only captures the ongoing discussions at the highest level of the leadership, including the recent visits of His Majesty the King of Bhutan to India last year, as I mentioned, most recently the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Bhutan last week to India, and of course the current ongoing visit of the Honorable Prime Minister. Besides, the joint statement also underlines and sketches out the broad directions of India-Bhutan relationship at present and also the focus areas of priority going forward. It also spells out our approach to take forward the bilateral cooperation in various areas. The joint vision statement on India-Bhutan energy partnership, which also has been issued earlier today, is a very important outcome because it focuses on how the two countries will cooperate on mutually beneficial hydropower cooperation in months and years ahead, as also deepen our energy partnership in the areas of non-hydropower renewables. Since I mentioned about the MOUs, I would like to mention that you would have witnessed this earlier today. 7 MOUs were exchanged between the two sides. I will only list out the areas in which these were exchanged, and if there is an interest, there could be a handout which could be shared with the members of the media. The one MOU is on general supply of petroleum oil lubricants, POL products from India to Bhutan. Second is agreement between Food Safety and Standards Authority of India and Bhutan Food and Drug Authority, is essentially for recognition of export inspection and certification system. It's essentially a trade facilitation measure that essentially brings about an ease of trade between the two economies. Third, the MOU on cooperation in the field of energy efficiency and energy conservation measures, in the area of sports and youths, in the field of recognition and acceptance of Indian pharmacopoeia in Bhutan, space cooperation, and agreement for national knowledge network between the two countries. Besides, a document on the rail links between the two countries was also initialed earlier today. Another very significant outcome for India-Bhutan relationship from this ongoing state visit of Prime Minister was the announcement by the Prime Minister and the government that the Government of India will be supporting the 13th 5-year plan of Bhutan to the tune of rupees 10,000 crores. This assistance for the 13th 5-year plan of 10,000 crore also includes India's support for Bhutan's economic stimulus package. As you are aware, India has been the largest development partner of Bhutan since the inception of Bhutan's first 5-year plan process. Just to give a comparative frame of reference, for the 12th 5-year plan, the total support provided was 5,000 crores. So the quantum announced by the Honorable Prime Minister today in the public event as also in the private conversation is double of what was announced for the previous 5-year plan. And this is again a manifestation of one, clear strength of our partnership, and also manifestation of our commitment to step up our support for the 13th 5-year plan, which essentially is a very important segment of bilateral cooperation between the two systems, between the two peoples also. Our plan assistance is a very crucial part of our partnership, and what it does most importantly is allow both the countries to push forward our bilateral engagement in the areas of common priorities. Tomorrow, as part of his program, Honorable Prime Minister would also be inaugurating the Gyaltsun Jitsun Pema Mother and Child Hospital, which has been constructed with the Government of India's assistance under the previous 5-year plan, the 12th 5-year plan. This is a 150-bedded hospital in Thimphu, which is essentially focused on improving maternal and child care in Bhutan. That would be the last event by the Honorable Prime Minister in Bhutan before his departure and return to India from Paro tomorrow morning. You would notice that the extent of the depth and the level of discussions during this ongoing state visit, various elements of the program, substance of the outcome, clearly points to the wide, extensive and deep range of India-Bhutan partnership across various areas of economic engagement, whether it's energy partnership. I talked about hydropower vision document, trade and commerce. I talked about, Prime Minister spoke about integrated checkposts being built across the borders, enhanced railway connectivity, measures which enhance people-to-people linkages, which is one of the mainstays of our partnership, clearly points to the special relationship of India and Bhutan, between India and Bhutan, characterized by trust, goodwill, and mutual understanding. I think besides all this, a very important point is that the visit has given us a very clear roadmap of the direction to pursue, area to prioritize, intensity to focus on in terms of how we would be carrying forward our collaboration in months and years ahead. I think I will stop here. If there are questions, we'll try and take them.
From here, Arushi.
Sir, good evening. This is Ayush Shegwal from ANI. I have two questions. First is, can we have more details of the discussions on the Gelfu Mindfulness City project? How would be India supporting this project, since Prime Minister mentioned in his address? Second, did the border dispute, the China-Bhutan border dispute, come up during the discussions?
Ashish.
आशीष सिंह फ्रॉम एबीपी न्यूज़. सर, स्पेस को लेकर प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने आज बहुत हाईलाइट भी किया. उनके मेजर एलिमेंट्स में से एक था स्पीच में, और दूसरा एमओयू में भी उसका एक्सचेंज हुआ है. तो इन द बैकड्रॉप ऑफ INS-2B जो हमने सैटेलाइट इसरो ने लॉन्च किया था भूटान के लिए नवंबर 22 में, और फिर अप्रैल में हमने लास्ट ईयर ग्राउंड स्टेशन भी इनॉग्रेट किया. आप अगर थोड़ा सा डिटेल बता सके कि एमओयू को लेकर स्पेस डोमेन में और आगे हमारे क्या प्लान है. दूसरा सर, जो आयुष ने पूछा उसी का थोड़ा सा और